Hey guys. Okay, so next on my agenda is water sealing the truck from the inside. So, and kind of from the outside as well. There are a couple of gaps between, say, wood and metal material in the truck of varying widths. And in order to get those guys nice and watertight, I am going to use this right here. So this is the West Systems resin. I have the 105 resin, and then I have the 206 hardener. This is the slow hardener. It goes along with the West system. I also have this right here, which is the 404 high density adhesive filler. So working with these guys as a team and in conjunction with fiberglass sheets that are outside of the camera's viewpoint right now, I'm going to use this material to create a fiberglass bond over the gaps and spaces that could potentially be water leaks in the future. So yeah, that's where I'm going to start. Let's go ahead and get it going. So what's great about the West Systems resin setup is that these pumps are perfectly calibrated. So for every 1 pump of resin, I need 1 pump of hardener. And then I mix it for about 2 minutes and I'm good to go. So the first step, I'm going to mix my resin and we'll go out to the truck and I'll tell you what I have to do next. So I'm going to start off doing about 4 pumps of resin. 4 nice solid pumps of resin, and then 4 pumps of hardener. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once I have these guys in the container, I'm going to go ahead and mix them. And you want to mix it for about 2 minutes or so. This is my experimental batch. You also don't want to mix too large of a batch because the resin could possibly start to set, especially on a hot day. If it's hot outside, it makes your resin set a little bit faster. Now, because this is a slow hardener, it takes about 24 hours for it to completely set. We have less of that chance happening. Say if it was a quick hardener, that stuff sets up super fast. So it could be a lot more problematic in terms of how much working time you have with the mixture in the container. I believe I have about an hour working time with this, but I can check I'll check the specifications and make sure that that's correct. All right, cool. All right, awesome. All right, let's go out to the truck. So all along here there's an opening, and I'm going to be resining this whole thing in order to close that opening up. So for right now, the first thing I want to do is I want to paint the exposed wood with resin because I want to make sure it sucks up all the resin it possibly can. If I don't, when I start layering in my layers of fiberglass, what's going to happen is that this wood will suck the resin out of the fiberglass, and it won't leave a lot of resin in the fiberglass material, which means that my union between the fiberglass and the wood can become compromised and fail altogether. So the first thing you want to do with a disposable paintbrush, this thing will not be usable after this is over. I just want to go through and paint this wood. Oops, got it on my skin. You just want to go through and paint this wood with as much resin as you can, as much resin as it'll hold. So I'm not really concerned that much with the paint job of the truck because it's gonna get painted at the end and sanded. Um, but I'm still trying to protect it as much as possible because I don't want to make my job later harder than it needs to be. So now that I have that painted with the resin, my next step is I need to mix something that's called peanut butter. It's a really thick resin. Yeah, it's a really thick resin basically, and it looks a lot like peanut butter. And I also have these guys right here that we're going to be working with as well. This is our fiberglass sheets. Oh, excuse me. It goes by the name of, hold on one second, let me check. So this guy right here, this is our chop strand mat. We start off with this, layering it, reinforcing it with the peanut butter mixture until we get to the desired thickness that we're looking for working with this material. So I'm going to go ahead and mix my peanut butter, and then we'll go over to the truck and we'll do our first few layers of this. I applied the resin to the outside and the inside of the truck, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking that maybe I should start adding the fiberglass layers on the inside of the truck and let that set up and dry. And then once that sets up and dries, then I should go back and add the resin to the outside of the truck. You want to wear gloves when working with this. Fiberglass is no joke. You want to be careful. It gets into your skin. It's literally little pieces of glass. And it's no fun. I already went through this when I was cutting off the roof. I've learned my lesson. So I'm going to go ahead and mix my peanut butter. In terms of how I mix that, I'm using this guy right here in my resin. I'm going to mix my resin like normal. So I'm going to start off by mixing my resin like normal. I'm going to do a couple of pumps of the hardener. A couple of pumps of the resin, a couple of pumps of the hardener, and then I'm going to add this filler until it gets to the desired thickness that I'm looking for. So once I add this, I'm going to mix it first. The same, just like last time, you want to mix it until it's thoroughly mixed, like 2 minutes of stirring it. Alright, so once I have this mixed, I'm going to start adding in my filler material. And you want to do it gradually. You mix them in. So this is my current thickness. It's not quite thick enough. So I'm going to mix a bit more in.
So this is about what you're looking.
So this consistency is about what you're looking for. You want it to be a little bit thicker than this. So I'm gonna add a little bit more to thicken it up just a smidgen more than what it is. This is what you're looking for. So we're going to take this to the truck with our first sheet of the oriented strand chop fiberglass sheet. We'll take that over to the truck and then we'll start our process of layering it in and putting it in place. So let's go for it. So I have my resin that I put on the surface here. I'm going to start in this section, apply the chop strand, apply the peanut butter, try to get this whole little area here covered, and then I'll also do this area as well. That'll be my experiment. We'll see how it goes, because I'm also trying to figure out, is this the best solution to fill this gap, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I have the fiberglass in place. I have it painted with the peanut butter. I'm going to let it sit until tomorrow and I'm going to check it out. Well, I won't be able to look at it tomorrow, but I'll check it out in a couple of days to see if this worked out well or if it crashed and burned in a horrible ball of fire. We shall see. Until then, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, subscribe to my channel. Other than that, peace. All right,